online meetings, do you see much difference in skills than team meeting? And then I want to divide that even further. So let's just online meeting with your team. Is there much of a difference than the actual skill of having the meeting? I realize, we got to have the technical skills a little bit different, but do you see other skills that are different than physical team meeting in a room?
Yeah, I believe that there are. I think that there is a little bit more to facilitating the conversations online, partly because of the technology, but also partly because people respond to the online environment differently than they do to the face-to-face environment. And what I feel in some of my observations anyway is that the patterns that were present in a face-to-face meeting are amplified in an online space. So those people who are very communicative are even more communicative, and those people who
Oh,
like their
oh, okay.
time, like their space, like to be thoughtful, don't necessarily speak up, that exactly the same, amplified, and so they may not really interrupt that conversation that's going on in the online space because then they're not necessarily moving fast enough, or they don't feel comfortable enough, or all of those sorts of things. So there's a bit more finesse, I think, required in facilitating that and understanding what's going on. I also think that we need to recognize even the simple difference of online meetings for some people are more exhausting than face to face. And so that simple element means we need to think about how we structure our meetings, that we have enough change in the composition. And so by that what I mean is that we're not just in front of a screen for an hour looking at the screen. We need to break that up in so that we keep people engaged, so that we maybe get them moving or interacting or breaking into smaller groups, those sorts of things, which we wouldn't necessarily have to do to the same level in a face to face situation. So I think there's a whole lot of other elements that we need to think about so that we have, as a leader, that we're able to, again, really make sure that our team is connected, that they all have an opportunity to contribute, that really we're supporting them with the way that we're engaging in the online space, even in something as straightforward as a team meeting.
Okay, okay. Because what you said was really key and critical, and it rang so true. Personalities get amplified.
Mm.
If they're the cheerleader type or the commander type or whatever type they are, the silent, strong, silent type, that's just gonna get amplified. And I think you brought that up, and that's a good way to look at things. How different is it in a one-on-one meeting?
Again, a challenge. It partly depends on how well perhaps you know the person, how mature the relationship is. One on one, it's about connection, it's about rapport. If, as a leader, you're fixated on getting your technology right and all of these sorts of things, because perhaps you're not that proficient at it, it gets in the way of making connection. It's as
Oh,
simple as that. So if I think about it, so Glenn, if you and I were in the same room, right, it's proximity that creates connection, right? We're in the same space, we're having eye contact, we're having a
sure.
great conversation. We can feel the rapport.
Right.
Across the screen, we don't have proximity. We have to have proficiency so that we can create an experience that's relatable, that allows for a level of connection. It may not be the same as in a face to face situation, but we don't want, oh gosh, I'm sitting in the dark and I can't find my control. And just bear with me
Mm,
while I turn my camera on or off or whatever. That gets in the way of our conversation.
okay. Okay. Like that. Because same thing, whether it's one-on-one or team.